mean, we didn't know what started it. We just knew that she was sick.
Like, even by, like, the name of the disease that you could tell, like, how rare it is. Like, it's not just Minji. It's mitochondrial, neurogastrointestinal encephalopathy. Like...
So, I know it's a heavy question, but if you're not to find a match, what is the effect of this disease going to have on your body?
So pretty much it gets to all your main organs. So right now it usually hits the digestive system, which is what's been happening to me. And just that alone has affected my life in so many ways. And eventually it'll start getting to my heart, my brain, my eyes, my ears. And so when obviously all these major organs are affected, there's only so much you can do, and eventually, you know, you pass away from that.
Pretty much all my gorgeous shoes that I cannot wear.
Wow. Can I take a look at some of them?
Yeah.
These are fun.
So these are the ones that I wore for my Tinkerbell costume for Halloween. So these ones are pretty cool.
They're so cute.
I noticed like a lot of the medical bracelets are pretty chunky and not very good looking. So I went hunting around for one that, you know, I could kind of deal with. So I found this one where the medical charm is kind of just hanging. Made me feel a little bit better that it was at least kind of nice looking.
My hair and aesthetics teacher was a hairdresser first, and over time she went back to school and she became a teacher and started teaching hair and aesthetics. So for me that was something that really like stuck in my head, and something that was really cool that I thought that, you know, that would kind of be combining the two in one. So that would be something that I would be interested in the future. I have nerve damage like in my legs and my feet, and my fingertips are a little bit numb, but not as bad. And so pretty much it's like the feeling of walking is a lot different. And even like something like wearing heels, which I have like thousands of that are probably useless now. I'm not able to wear them. That's something alone, being a woman, is hard to deal with.
Yeah.
Me and my mom were the same size. So all the shoes she has, I can wear those ones too. Well, I was able to, but not anymore.
It was repeatedly going to hospital, emergencies.
It has been about 4 years that I was dealing with a lot of these symptoms: nausea, vomiting, stomach pain.
She was told maybe she had irritable bowel. They would test her for Crohn's, celiac. And during that time you have people like friends and stuff saying, well, maybe she's anorexic.
Last year I started losing a lot of weight, and I was down to I think like 68 pounds or so. And I went to Emerge, and I ended up staying there for about 3 weeks. And a week and a half into it, they put a PICC line in my arm, and they started me on something called TPN, which is something that gives me nutrition and more calories, so I was able to gain a little bit more weight.
That's it for now.
My mom found out about a good gastrologist doctor who works out of Mount Sinai, so I got my family doctor to refer me to him.
I went with her for that appointment when she was diagnosed, and it was shocking.
And without knowing what Minji was, I knew bone marrow transplant means that her blood cells are infected, and that something's wrong with not a little bit of her body, but her entire body.
When she first got diagnosed, I figured it was just like all the other time. It's not true. It can't be. Like, she doesn't need a bone marrow transplant. But, of course, that time I was wrong.
And Cristina was okay. She really was a champ. Like, she was strong. So we left the office, we didn't say anything to each other, but by the time we reached the main floor of the hospital, I just hugged her and I said, it's okay, you know, we're gonna fight this and we're gonna figure it out and you're gonna be just fine. You're gonna be fine because we're gonna do whatever it takes.
The first thing I did was obviously think of him and to pretty much come home and talk to him about it.
Then she gave me an ultimatum. Then she's like, if you want to be with me, that's fine. If you want to leave, I don't take offense because it might be too much, or so on. And I told her, I'm like, no, I'm not going to leave. Like, I care for you, right? Like, I'm not going to, because of that, I'm just going to give up on her. I see a future with her, and then I'm like, I'm going to stick around from better to worse, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's just say that there are 964 patients waiting for stem cell transplant, and even with the access that we have of 18 million worldwide and over 500,000 cord blood units, it's quite difficult to find a match.
Stem cell, when you replace that in a person, depending on the disorder you're treating, that creates different benefits. In the circumstance we were talking about earlier, this young lady has a metabolic disorder, so we're looking to try to replace an enzyme. Well, the blood cells carry that same enzyme, and by them circulating through the body, they have the opportunity to distribute it elsewhere, has the opportunity to get that enzyme into the blood, and the opportunity for that enzyme then to work and slow down the progression of the disease.
One Match Stem Cell and Mar Network is a business line of Canadian Blood Services. So what we do is we actually recruit volunteer stem cell donors, blood stem cell donors. We are responsible for the collection and delivery of blood stem cells here in Canada and around the world.
I was told I couldn't even test because I'm only her half-brother. I couldn't donate because I'm 16.
The best chance for these patients to find a match when they can't find a match within their family comes from their own ethnic background.
And that can unfortunately still be a challenge. I mean, I'm Northern European descent, Caucasian, so I'm going to find a match if I go on the registry. Southern European, it's harder yet. If you're Asian, harder yet. If you're Latino, also hard. If you're Black, very hard.
You know, to cope up with the ever-changing face of Canada, we also have to diversify the representation of different ethnic backgrounds in the database. There are two processes that the doctor will determine depending on the need of the patient. One process is what we call peripheral blood stem cell donation.
It's 4 needles, a needle a day for 4 days. And then you go in, you get hooked up to an apheresis machine where it takes the blood out one arm, spins off the stem cells, and then pumps the rest of the whole blood back in through your other arm. So you're hooked up to the machine for 4-5 hours maybe, and you're done. Joints really start to hurt because your bone marrow is super producing stem cells, and your bones are really working hard to pump them out. So you get a very stiff, crampy kind of pains in your joints and muscles. So, but it doesn't last too long, and once I was hooked up to the machine, that feeling was gone in about half an hour.
Wow, so you felt pretty much just the same coming out of it?
100% back to normal. Like no difference from when I first did it. Yeah.
And the other process is called bone marrow donation. So what they do is they're going to insert a needle in your iliac crest or your hip bone. You are under general anesthesia, so you won't feel the pain. There is soreness and bruising on the day after, but it is comparable to falling on ice. Who doesn't fall? We're Canadians, right? So.
And they've made it so easy to get on the list now. The swab kits they will send out to your home. You do it in your living room. It takes literally 5 minutes, and there's no pain involved. There's no blood test. It's a cheek swab, and that's it. And for something that takes so little time, it makes a huge difference. Yeah.
I have really smart brothers, and my brother Anthony, who's 16, decided to create an event on Facebook to tweet #HopeForCristina.
I had to help, you know, I couldn't. So And that's why I did the Twitter thing. That's the only thing I thought of. And it exploded. You know, he had so much support.
And he put it on Facebook that we're going to start this Twitter campaign to raise awareness, to number one, raise awareness of what Cristina's going through, but also to raise awareness for people to register on the donor list.
So it's right here. This is actually when it trended in Canada.
My brother Anthony, his friends that he went to elementary school with, now go to St. Joe's, which is the high school that I went to. So they still keep in contact and they pretty much know everything, and they went to like my hair and aesthetics teacher, who me and her were really close, and pretty much they started putting posters and like really promoting it around the school.
She probably thinks that I like forgot about her or something, but I actually think about her a lot. I just really haven't been dealing with a lot, and I haven't really like had time to kind of go and say hi and everything, but I'd really love to see her.
Every Wednesday, we've invited you to tweet Hope for Cristina. And this is one of the ways we invite you into your Lenten journey. This afternoon, Cristina is with us, and she has been visiting the school to receive the hope we wish to give her. Okay, superstar. Okay, ready? This is Cristina Duarte. And I'm going to ask you again, how many of you remember to tweet Hope for Cristina? Hashtag. Cristina came to visit. Cristina Duarte doing a Hope for Cristina campaign. There she is. And there's Miss Felice.
You visited us. It's awesome. You're looking wonderful.
Thank you. Oh, I've been wanting to come to you for so long. Like, I've been thinking about you for so long.
What do you think?
It looks great. It looks amazing. I just want you to know, because you used to come to my hair and aesthetics class, and he was my first client. I used to shave his head all the time, and it hasn't changed.
Okay, well, I think my connection with Sir Cristina is that he came to the office and he put the news article down on my desk, and he said, "Did you hear about this? Everyone in the French department read about you." I think it was February 2nd or something. And we need to do something. As the sir said, we need to do something. Let's get the one match here, whatever we can do. So this was the first teacher that set it up for us.
We're hoping for you so much. I really hope everything pans out. We'll do our best as well to give you as much support as we possibly can.
So we did our best, and we created like posters and just get the awareness out. And we began like giving out stickers with like pretty much every grade, and they all helped. And we started selling t-shirts, and then everything started getting big, and then we finally made it like a trending topic. Yeah.
I had 3 grade 9 students that made posters on their own that said honk to help Cristina, or honk to save a life, and then they said tweet Hope for Cristina on it. And they said, oh, we just finished getting cars to honk at us, and so many cars were honking at us. So it's been unfolding little by little like that.
If you lie back and just accept that something's coming, if you've got that kind of an attitude, well, yeah, something's going to come. But if instead you're willing to attack it, you're willing to go forward and willing to say, this can work, and this is how I'm going to make it work, then yeah, you're going to do better.
I feel positive. I feel like it's going to work out okay. I don't think I'm as afraid, whereas in the beginning I was more afraid.
Now they've narrowed stuff down even further as to, which donations, make for the best, tend to have the best results. So stuff is improving constantly, and you have to have hope.
This registry isn't just for me. I'm helping everybody else out there that needs a bone marrow or like stem cells. I'm helping them all out,
Cristina has really embodied that sense of hope, and we've got so many teenagers that are really looking and thinking, you know, what do I need to hope for, or where's my life going? And after bringing forth Cristina's story, there was so much joy in the community.
Today, I can't believe how many people, strangers, they're willing to help, and we've been blessed really with the support of so many people.
Like the positiveness of just this family, of Cristina herself, you know, like the fact that she's able to smile, you know, and laugh and just not think about it, you know, that shows that she's just so strong, you know, and she is, if she wasn't my role model before, she's definitely grown as my role model, that's for sure.
I have to know that I have hope. Like I have to know that things are going to be okay, you know?